start broadcast, and Ben is already down for the count. Tap out, man. Tap out. All right, everybody. Welcome to
We're missing someone.
We're missing Wesley. He did
Wesley,
not say he was going to be in attendance tonight.
I haven't seen Wesley in chat all day, so.
He's been reading them. He just hasn't been.
But welcome to another episode of Group 3 Sanguine Light of the Ilderon Tales. This is going to be a bonus episode, and it is going to take place before the party. Dang, if Wesley was here, we could actually just go straight to the ball. Anyways, do you guys want to introduce yourselves, or would you like me to?
You should do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have players express both dislike for this process. We got Allison playing Evelyn, the bard. We have... Oh, Eveline. I will butcher that all night long. Hold on, I'm going to put Eveline, like lean meat, E-A-N, Eveline. There we go. Eveline Cuisine. We got Ben playing Zai, the rogue.
We lit.
Sam playing Arabella. And Shat playing Akthau, the ranger. So when we left off last session, you guys had all just got back to the Toll's house inside of... Oh, by the way, before we start, I'm going to make a note of it here, and I will also make a note of it when we start the session on Monday. I am retconning you guys. I'm actually going to move you forward a few days, and it is the day you guys are starting on is the 19th of Father is the current date.
But I thought the ball was the same night as we got to town.
Yes, it is still going to be that night, but we're just changing the date the session starts on to put everything in line with what's happening elsewhere around the world.
I think you only moved it by one day.
Yeah,
it's just one day. You had us 18th.
Yeah, it is the 19th of Father. All right, so yes, you guys had just got back to the Tolls estate in the Somar Villa. You investigated the room where the missing cousin of Arabella and Zai was. Her stuff was said to be down there, and you guys found a vault full of skeletons. And then while you were trying to figure out what was happening, Lilfear, the bard, came up and gave the party a full invite to Lady Nakart's ball tonight. So we are going to pick up from there. I believe they were walking away and everybody was on the front steps.
Sure.
Okay, I'm just asking. I did not get a chance.
I was say I thought it was just me and Sam were the ones that were there with the invitation, and
Zai came back as they were leaving.
Yeah, Sam got all of us invited, I think, right?
Yes. Yeah, everybody was invited. Just
cool.
Who was there?
Zai and Dirge are walking back. I will be controlling Dirge tonight.
Oh gosh.
What do you guys want to do?
No, I remember we walked up and I told them that we had a ethics council person coming to the house in the morning.
Then there's why would you do that?
Oh yeah, the ethics council.
The ball? I feel like if we're going to this ball thing, we got to get like a gift for the host. That's like the polite thing to do.
I agree, but don't you think that we need to know more about her to get her an adequate gift?
Can I also suggest something as the DM?
Yes.
You guys, just commenting, you guys were actually making really good headway on investigating what happened to Sona. That's also an option for you guys too. To continue on.
That's so ambiguous, but all right.
I mean, I can't directly say like, hey, look here, but
I understand.
I was just saying, you guys weren't doing the wrong things if you feel like you didn't learn anything.
I feel you.
What we're doing.
So we could do both. We could have some people go and find out information to get a gift, and we could have some people continue looking for your lovely cousin.
Do we know where Amphitheater is at this point?
If you have to ask that question, you don't.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm pretty sure Zai knows that Arabella sent him off to
That's right.
find suitors.
That's right. I'm just trying to refresh my memory.
That we don't need anymore.
That we don't need anymore. Yeah. So
I mean, he was happy to get away from you guys too. So
I'm sure he was. We were awesome people. Did Amphitheater and Arabella did find a suitor, right? That's how we got invited.
I'm back
No.
yet.
No, that's me.
Evelyn went to the entertainers' quarters,
Right. Okay.
the Nacart Manor, found a bard that she knew, and the bard convinced one of the people she was traveling with to extend their invite to you instead.
Okay. Just trying to refresh my memory from last session.
That bard also scared the ever-living mess, or put the fear of God inside of Evelyn.
And she was really
Eveline. Yeah, she was.
It's okay.
She was a 20
It
on
was
the
kinda
appearance
sexy.
score.
It was kind of sexy. I like people that scare me sometimes.
I'm into that.
I'm into that.
So Dirge and I arrive at the estate, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna
And
go.
you relayed what you relayed to the party on the stairs.
All right. I'm gonna go and wait for Amphitheater to come back to the house. 'Cause I'm assuming at some point he's gonna
10
show back
years
up
later.
because I have a question to ask him.
Okay. What's everybody else doing?
I need to find something to wear to this party.
Okay, your things were shipped here with you. And by things, large amounts of clothing and what is sever in your inventory.
Okay.
Because remember, we were trying on dresses before they got there.
Yeah, for you, but I wasn't invited then. Now I need a dress.
Oh. I guess since you helped me, I can help you.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, do you guys go out to get it or do you go through your closet?
I'm going through my closet first. Where?
We ain't
Okay.
got money like that.
Give me a couple sessions.
What's Actau doing?
Hmm?
What's Actau doing?
Wondering what to do next?
Pre-gaming.
Yeah,
What is the
on that
ball?
note, Zai's gonna have a couple of beers or ale, whatever you want to call it.
All right, let me roll some chats for Amphitheater.
Yeah, when is the ball, guys?
The ball is tonight.
Oh,
Does
well,
anybody?
what time of day is it now?
Okay,
One more
The
time, chat.
19th.
Yeah, the 19th of
Father.
Father.
I have a question.
Yes,
A player question.
yes.
Wait, no, I changed my mind. I just figured out my own answer.
Okay. I mean, I like answering questions.
I realized what I was asking was dumb because
It's your job to answer questions.
Maybe Aki could go search the fields for any clues.
maybe we should search
You
the
want-
carriage for clues.
Probably. I'll do that.
Or the carriage, yeah. The carriage would be a good idea.
Maybe if he mentions that that's what he's gonna do, Arabella would go with him.
First, I'm pre-gaming with
Zai.
Die, and then we're gonna go.
Oh, let's
Yeah,
get
that's
drunk
good.
before we go look at the carriage.
Yeah, of course. We gotta get drunk before we go to the party. Like it's a thing.
No, Arabella will be like, "You better behave when we're there. You better not."
Well, then Eveline would speak up and say, hey, we've got some time before the party. Do you want to go check out the stables and the carriage first before we start getting ready?
That's a good idea.
Let's go. Guys, wait.
All right, so you guys go to check out the carriage in the stables.
Yeah, the one that Sona disappeared from.
Okay.
If
Asking
it's still
around.
there.
Yeah, asking around. It's not hard to find a carriage in your possession. It is a pretty elaborate coach. However, looking at the wheels and the cramped space inside of it, it doesn't seem like this carriage was made to go very far.
Sure.
What do you guys want to inspect about it?
Is there
Are the
anything left
tires were
inside?
distinct? Big enough for us to be able to tell the difference between its tracks and tracks of another carriage?
I will kill
Nah.
him.
You can roll me a investigation check.
Okay.
Can I do the same?
Yes, you
Crawl in
can.
Huh? What is Brandon?
I did it. 14, 15.
14, 15? Okay, hold on, let's see. You don't have advantage on it, so it's just going to be that 14. Looking at the carriage wheels, it's where most wagons of this size are like metal spokes. This one actually has, I'm sorry, not metal spokes, wooden spokes. This one actually has metal strips on the wheels. It would make some unique tracks, but it also seems to have been built for a purpose.
Like for snow?
Perhaps. Your check reveals the same thing, Allison. It was DC 13.
I was gonna say mine was gonna be for the inside.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Arabella will crawl into the inside first.
What are you looking for in the inside?
Basically anything that may have been left.
Or anything that seems off.
Okay. Closely inspecting the inside of the carriage, you don't notice anything particularly off. The fabric inside of here is silk that cushions the walls. Obviously, there's something else behind it. But other than that, that's about it.
Is there? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'll say, is there a way to make a small incision along like one of the seams to look underneath without being obvious?
I think you can try that if you'd like.
I don't have a blade.
Hey, I have my oak blade.
I hand you my short sword.
Okay. I'm gonna take his short sword and go like along like where it meets like the wall or the seating somewhere and do like a tiny like slit.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
Is the door to the carriage open as you're doing this?
Yes. Yes.
All right. As Acthal hands you his short blade and you move to the wall, one of the servants runs over and says, "Stop! Stop! 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 We just replaced those."
Oh, really?
What did you do with the originals?
He looks and says, "The silk came in and they ordered us to replace these. We tossed the old ones. They had seen use."
What kind of use?
Were
Were they damaged in any way?
He shrugs and says, "Some of the fabric was frayed, but I'm just a stable hand, but I know some of the other servants here on the property. I talked with them. I work alongside with them. They put a lot of work into making that look nice again."
Okay. We won't destroy it.
Do you know where the
As
old
you
silk was
say, with
taken?
like Evelyn sitting there with her short sword, your short sword over it, we won't destroy it.
Do we know where do you know where the old silk was taken?
He says by now it was either burned or donated to the military.
What if we promise to make it look all nice again when we're done?
He's gonna raise an eyebrow and say, "Are you a seamstress?"
Wait, where's my?
Actually, that's a good point.
Hey, it's
Because
Mindy.
since I have costumes and stuff, would I have any sort of like skill in that?
I believe you had the option to take proficiency with one artisan tool of your choice. I think there's a tailor's kit.
Brandon,
Yes,
is mending a thing in this edition?
it is, but it's a cantrip,
Which means what? I still
which means you get a. Well, as a cleric, you know all your spells. You only get a limited number of cantrips
Yes.
that you choose at first level, and you don't learn. You learn one like every 6 levels, if that. Yeah, but the thing about cantrips is you can cast them forever. You just keep casting them.
So, am I supposed to pick the one that I wanted already?
Let's see.
I can't find my player's handbook. I'm going to kill my boyfriend.
Damn.
Murder
Don't
is
say that on here because now
overrated.
we're all excessive.
Yeah, I was about to say. I keep telling Sam that all the time. Don't tell me when you're about to kill someone.
That and
I
it's a
need to
live
go-
stream. Like, come on.
Rip.
There's proof
Okay,
of
well-
this now.
However, go ahead and roll me. Go ahead and roll me a intelligence check, Eveline, for free.
For free.
Why am I holding an
Yeah.
Okay.
DC 12. Hey,
It continues.
it continues.
Why
Did you
have
get
I
your-
dice?
You
Why
should
would
have rolled your bad rolls before the session started.
I was
Yeah,
thinking, I say, where is my?
I
Um,
dice? Like, why am I still using
ID
this?
20? Did you eat ID?
I like how they just get up and give you kisses. That's
I
the
think
best
she
reaction.
ate my D20. Like I'm not.
Yeah, Evelyn, the thought passes through Evelyn's mind. Man, this low-ranking servant has a great point. The check was for, wait, this guy's a servant. Why is he telling me what to do? Evelyn has that thought. You can act on it as you will.
I look to the other two and say, I'm not. Do either of you happen to be?
No, but we own the carriage, so do what I say.
She makes a good point too.
Yeah, the servant looks at you and says, "Oh, yes. I just wanted you to know a lot of effort went into making it look nice." And he'll just like bow and walk away.
Aw, poor baby.
It's
So-
like, "I got this for you, master." Smashes it. Oh, that was cool. Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't poison.
So, do you want me to still make the incision?
You can do whatever you want.
Can you do
Your
it without
choice.
having too much damage?
Wouldn't that be like a dexterity?
Yeah, I would say sleight of hand if you want to make it not noticeable. Otherwise,
Sleight of hand?
otherwise it's just a carriage wall. You can slide that short sword straight through there.
That's
How
gonna
about
be
Mhm.
a D20, right?
Yes, it should be a sleight of hand check on your. It's
Yeah.
it's a dexterity skill right above stealth.
Yeah, I see that. I was gonna roll like a real die,
Okay,
so the
believe in
system won't
yourself.
fail me. I
The
believe in
system
myself.
fails everybody. That's why it's the system.
Rolls
it's
a nat.
socialism.
Rolls a nat 1.
16 plus 2, 18.
All right. You're able. You press your hand against the wall to feel where the wall is, and then you press your sword into the fabric just slightly lighter, and you run it along. As you do, what? I gotta look at something real quick.
I was successful at something for once.
The interior of the wall is actually, whereas the silk was nice and smooth, the interior is actually kind of it's soft, but it's a little scratchy. But the fluffing nonetheless pours out. Well, it doesn't pour out, but out a little bit.
There you go. That onomatopoeia.
Think of like opening a container of biscuits.
That's full.
I carefully pull some out and like set it on the seat so you can see the wall behind it better. Whereas not to damage the fluffing though, so that I can stuff it back in later.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a free nature check as you're pulling it out.
A free nature.
Free nature check.
Oh, okay. 16 plus 1, 17.
As the first time your hand lands on it, you're pretty aware that this is wool that you're pulling out of the wall. So where are you pulling it out from? Like, where are you stationed inside the carriage? That's going to depend heavily on what you see.
Well, I was just putting. Am I pulling it from a wall or from the door?
I'm assuming you pulled it from the wall. The door has no. The door is wooden and metal. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was.
I guess there'd be a
So-
little bit of lining on it just for grips.
Yeah, from like the wall, like if you're sitting in the seat, it'd be like the wall to the right is what I'm picturing.
Okay,
Like,
there are 2
not
seats
the back
inside
wall
of the
behind
carriage. There's only enough space in this carriage for maybe 3 people. Would you be pulling from the back seat or the front seat? The
back.
seats face each other. Okay. As you pull out the stuffing, the closer you get to the wall, your fingertips start to scrape against something, and once you get enough of it out, you notice small indentations on there.
Can I roll like perception to see what it is?
Yes, you can. Anyone else who can see it can also roll perception.
I'm gonna roll it too.
Yeah, I got a 3,
17.
so.
I gotta look at
So, not being really of her, not being much of her profession, Eveline doesn't quite know what these indentations are, but Acthow being a little bit more combat savvy,
I was gonna
notice it.
a 22.
Yeah, Erica would notice, or
Erica.
Arabella would notice too, because of the house she comes from. These are very clearly dagger, the indentations of like the blade of a dagger being repeatedly stuck in the wall. There's quite a few of them.
That took a turn.
For real.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
Arabella or Acthow could choose to share that with the group.
Arabella would say, those look like stab wounds. Dagger.
Tragic.
I wonder what happened. Do we continue looking to see if there's more? Or do we just...
Are you asking me?
I'm asking them.
Oh.
We can. I mean, I'll roll an investigation to check to see if there's more.
Okay. Let's say we could do the same on the other side.
I was gonna say cut the other seat and let's see what that one looks like.
Do you guys cut the other seat?
Yes.
Okay. As you do, the stable hand currently working the stables where the carriages are stored hears the slicing of the fabric and like that face of nails across the chalkboard. Like when somebody makes that, it's just all over his face as he's like raking. It's but you cut into the other side of the carriage and begin to remove the fluffing. Whereas on the other side there were a great many, here there are maybe 2.
So somebody was definitely winning. Do we know what side of the carriage she sat on?
All actually, let's see. With that's a 9 investigation. No, you don't. At least you guys haven't asked or found that information out yet.
So here's my question. The side with the least amount of marks on the wall, that meant that it had the most amount of the dagger actually going into the person. Right?
Yeah. Or the most amount of struggle. She might have won. Who knows?
Is there any is there like a hole like in the roof where people can climb in and out from the roof of the carriage?
There is not.
There
are windows, and they're drapes with metal rods that can be that they can be closed from, or that can close them.
Arabella would crawl out of the carriage and go to the stable hand and ask where the carriage driver is.
He says to you, he stays in the servants' quarters. However, there are 3 of them. They rotate. Do you wish to go someplace?
Who was driving Sona the night that everything happened? The day that she disappeared.
He's going to say he no longer works for the estate. Amphitheater investigated him thoroughly and found no ill doing on his part, but nonetheless, the incompetence of his vision has been noted that night.
Can you provide me with his name, please?
He says Dan Otrix. He was a dear friend when he did work for the manor.
What was that last name, Brandon?
Otrix, Ottrix. Old Danny boy Otrix.
Eveline's gonna crawl out to and ask the stable hand, were the curtains replaced as well, or just the silk lining?
He says just the silk lining. Every piece of property the Tolls owns needs repairs every so often.
Oh, never mind.
Was there anything left? Do you know if there was anything left in the carriage the day Sona disappeared?
The man is going to think for a moment and say, I do not know. Not privy to very much information here.
Hey, Brandon, what does this stable hand look like? Like what's...
Let's see. He's fairly attractive. He's a 12, in appearance. He's good looking for a commoner.
Arabella's gonna reach out and run her hand down his arm and go, "Do you think you could find out for me?"
Roll me a persuasion check.
That's a 19 plus whatever my persuasion is. So that's a 21.
He says, of course, mistress. Of course I can.
Well, thank you. Come and see me after the party tonight.
So that happened.
He's going to roll insight on that. And at first, when you say that, his eyes go wide, and he's like, "Oh, wait, she probably wants to know what I learned." And he just nods and says, "Yes, mistress."
And tell me your name.
Generic Stable Boy 3.
Perfect. Thanks, Brandon.
Darn you.
Actually, we're gonna name him I'll let you guys pick, Kraylor or Kiris.
Kiris.
Cheers.
Only because I've heard that name 4 other times.
Yeah. In this world, Kiris is John and Kraylor is Steven.
Hey, I only know like 8 Stevens, okay?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Quite a bit of Stevens.
His name is surprisingly Kiris.
Arabella's gonna say, "Well, thank you. Be on your way. I will see you later this evening." And she'll wink at him.
Oh, all right. He almost skips out of the stables.
Sure he wasn't walking on awkwardly.
He's excited. He is a 1/4 CR commoner. He just got propositioned by a noble of the mafia. He's good. What do you guys want to do? You have a torn carriage in front of you.
Well, put the stuffing back in.
Can you cast? Did any of you cast Mend?
That's what I asked. I asked Brandon because I haven't picked my cantrip yet.
I mean, if you want to pick mending as your cantrip, you can. It is hyper limited in use.
No, I don't.
Because you get like 2 of them right now.
I have minor illusion.
There you go.
Could just cast minor illusion on it until further notice and just make it look okay. Until somebody like sits down.
Is that in the dining room?
When the servant leaves, by the way, he leaves this barn swings open with a large wooden door, and he leaves it open. Mist begins to creep in slowly into the stables, by the way.
Is I still in the dining room? Did he come with us, or is he still there?
I think Zai is waiting for Amphitheater.
Beautiful. Okay. Do we see anything around the barn other than the carriage?
I'm waiting for Amphitheater and getting drunk. That's what that is doing.
There are several horses here and maybe 2 more carriages.
Arabella is very nosy, so she's just gonna go over to the next carriage and look inside to see if
Okay. Going inside this one, it seems a lot less lavish. If anything, this is maybe to send your important servants on to go meet with people.
Okay, once she sees that, she will move on to the next.
Okay. This last one is probably the least expensive carriage you guys own. It's larger than the rest. It barely gets the classification of carriage because it does have a door on it, but it's more like a large caravan wagon, where normally there are plush seats. Instead, there's 2 rows of wooden benches built into the floor of the carriage. You imagine it'd be uncomfortable, but you could fit maybe an upwards of 8 people in here.
She's gonna make a comment like, "I'm glad I don't have to ride in this," and she's gonna shut the door and walk away. She's gonna go back inside to where Zai is and tell him about the dagger wounds in the.
Eveline's gonna look around like the rest of the barn and roll investigation.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check. And Zai, do you have a dagger?
Do I have a dagger?
Yes.
Let me look, my good DM.
You probably should have gotten one from.
I have 2 daggers, actually.
Describe to me how Zai acts when he's angry.
Zai, when he is angry, is very solemn and quiet. Doesn't say much.
The exact opposite of Arabella.
Okay.
I rolled a-
I will allow Zai to roll a free intelligence check as he's talking to Arabella. What was that perception? Or
20.
that investigation?
20. Plus 1, so 21.
All right. Looking around the barn, you find you don't find much of anything interesting other than farm tools. You do find a chest with some items in it that look much more lavish than simple commoners would have. Maybe a lost and found of sorts.
I can get into it.
It is not locked.
Yay! I want to open it up and like a closer look at everything in it.
Okay. Inside, you find a very lavish pink satchel. It is empty. There's also a dagger with gold leaf engravings on it in the form of flowers on the blade. And stacked up on the other side are several books.
Can I take the dagger back to the first cart and see if it matches like the indentations in the wall?
Luckily, the servant's not there to see you walk towards the wall with another blade. His poor little heart would fall out of his chest. You walk it back, and you do find the dagger matches nearly every little hole you put it into.
Okay. Is the chest light enough to where I can pick it up and take it to the living room with me?
No. Well, yes, it is, but not with your current load. If you could drag it, but it is maybe 3 feet. Let's see, it's maybe just over 3 feet wide, maybe somewhere around 40 inches.
Hey, isn't the right there next to her? Can he not help her carry it?
I mean, he could if he wanted to. And it's probably about 24, 28 inches deep.
Well, first.
And then another 28 inches of depth to it.
Can I pick it up?
Yeah, you can.
I'll just pick it up.
It's a pretty hefty heave, as it is well crafted, and there's large parts of metal worked into the wood. It weighs maybe somewhere around 45, 50 pounds.
Okay. And we both go take it into wherever she wants to go.
All right.
I'm going to meet them in the dining room or wherever they are.
How many items did I say inside of it? 7? You could easily pick up the 7 items.
No, I want to take the whole
There you
chest.
go.
My chest.
All right. So as you guys start bringing that back, what was the result of that perception check, Si? Or I'm sorry, that intelligence check? Ben?
Say that one more time.
What was the result of that intelligence check?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you wanted me to roll me one because my internet kind of went out there for a second.
Roll.
Did you want me to roll it?
Roll me an intelligence check.
What am I rolling
Play
for
some music.
exactly?
Because Eric,
You get a free one as Erica's talking to you. Depending on what you roll, Zai might have thoughts that your character would think of.
A 4.
4.
4? All right.
Anybody? I can't give myself inspiration. Never mind. I'm stupid.
Yeah, Zai just like kind of nods along. Yeah, but you have whatever thoughts you have, man.
Okay.
So while they're sitting down, Arabella's going to ask if he met, other than the ethics, the guy from the ethics committee, did you meet anybody else in town?
Yeah.
A person block.
There was this girl there.
I like girls.
She seemed very. How should I describe her?
She was pretty standoffish and angry.
Yeah, standoffish. There we go. That's what I was looking for. She was very standoffish. She had blonde hair. She didn't seem like she was in a good mood. So she almost got into a fight with Thurge, but I defused the situation.
What does she look like?
I mean, she's a 10. She'd be a 10.
No, Brandon, what does she look like?
I mean, if Zai says she's a 10, that's what he's into.
Arabella's just
Ben, you know what who Hope Solo is, right? What she looks like?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know who Hope Solo is.
Basically a blonde Hope Solo. Athletic as fudge.
Yeah, tall, athletic build, slim.
And curses out referees.
And is apparently very vulgar. And beats her nephews.
Arabella's just gonna nod and be like, "So, do you think we should get a gift for Lady Nayclark?"
I think that'd be a good idea. I think.
As you guys are getting on that part of the discussion, Eveline and Akbel walk in, both holding a chest.
Look what I found.
Yeah.
What is it?
Look what I found. It was never lost.
We're gonna put it on the table and open it up. And I'm gonna pull the dagger out. It's a chest that has all these wonderful things in it. But look, it had this dagger in it, and when I checked it against the dagger marks in the carriage, it fit almost every hole I put it in.
Do we recognize that, Brandon? That dagger? Is it
no, you guys don't.
Okay. What Arabella's gonna stand up and look into the chest. What else is in there?
There is a lavish pink satchel, and I think I said 3 books. Did I say 3 or 4? I think I said there are 3 to 4 books in there.
Can I roll perception to see if I recognize any of those books?
Arabella's gonna reach in before he does that and grab that pink satchel.
Okay.
I want to do that.
Yes, you can roll perception, but you can also just read the names of the books on their spine. One is Terai, Understanding Our Greatest Threat by
11.
That's the name of the first one. The second one is oh gosh, what was the name of that stupid book? It is Arabella would recognize it. It's a holy book.
What is it?
I forgot the name of it. Hold on, let me pull it up. I believe it's Sarai, 1,000 Years of Struggle.
Was he alive 1,000 years? He struggled the whole time?
He did.
God damn, what a name of a book.
Hey, what? How do you spell Sarai, Brandon?
Serii.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Mm-mm.
What are the other 2 books, Brandon?
Hold on, I'm pulling up the first one because I just don't believe that I lost that. I don't believe it.
Well, while he's looking that up, Eveline's gonna go over to Arabella and see if they can look through the satchel together.
Yeah, let's look through the satchel, Brandon. What's in it?
Inside the satchel, there's nothing. It was empty. I said it was empty.
Did you?
He said an empty pink satchel.
Pretty endless.
I remember that.
Guys,
I'm going to add that to my
inventory.
my backpack.
And also, if nobody minds, could I hold on to the dagger until we find out more information about it?
Arabella's going to stop you and say, no, I think it's best that Atoll's hold on to that.
Okay.
And she's going to reach her hand out for it.
I'll take it.
I grabbed the dagger and run away.
Rip.
I'm just joking.
I was about to say, you're going to get yourself killed, man.
Did you not hear the part about the mafia? Just putting that out there.
I fear nothing.
So Arabella's going to take the dagger and hand it to Zai and say, this looks more your style than mine.
Cool. So I have 3 daggers now.
Well, I have none.
Sure, Bard, you don't need a dagger.
That's fair.
You say that until somebody ties her to a chair.
Right.
Then I guess
I'm gonna look
alone.
I'm gonna look at Zai and just say, just be very careful with that and do not lose it. It may be like integral to our investigations later on.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah. Still.
Just stares at his drunken state with a raised eyebrow and just shakes her head.
Okay, I'm going to pull this up on the wiki because I'm fairly certain I wrote it on there. God bless this wiki, man. God bless this wiki.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab a beer while you do that.
Okay. I'm going to go grab a beer too while I do that.
I should also go grab another beer while you do that.
Yes, Ben, go. Go, Ben.
Oh, here we go. I found the book, and it is on the wiki. It is called The Struggles of Sarai. It is a holy book of the Four Ascended.
Can I put it in my bag?
You can, but you own a copy in your library upstairs already.
Oh, so
Okay.
what is it again?
Our Struggles of Sarai. The third one is a Century's Reflection. And the final one does not have a name on the spine.
So Arabella's gonna pick it up and like thumb through it.
The final one?
Yes.
This one, it doesn't seem to be published. Actually, it seems to be sewn together pages. All of them being collected notes from different races, or rather, different information on Galkanites.
Okay. Arabella's gonna put this in her bag along with the other, so that she can read it later.
Wait, aren't I a Galkanite?
You are, I believe. Yes, you are. You are from Dagger Gully.
Would I recognize the book?
It is. Yeah, it's more of a handmade book.
Journal?
Perhaps.
All right, I'm back.
You'd imagine like a rich person's journal if they told their servants, "Go collect me this stuff," and they just bought the books and ripped them out and put them together.
Oh. All right.
Okay.
I have downgraded from awesome craft beer to shitty Miller Lite.
Ben, the books.
First 5. You don't really need the good stuff anymore.
Ben, the books you guys grabbed were Terrai, Understanding Our Greatest Threat.
Yep.
A Century's Reflection, Struggles of Sarai, and then an unnamed book that had it had just various scribblings about Galkanites in it.
Do I know what Galkanites are?
There's a continent across the sea.
Okay.
That's where I'm from.
You can roll a history check for free if you want.
Wait.
Okay. That's God bless. That's a 5.
It's because you're drunk. Does Arabella know anything about the Galkanites?
She can also roll a history check.
Wait, what is my
if you guys are talking about it and Evelyn wants to roll one too, Evelyn can roll with advantage.
Yeah, I'll roll.
You said a history, right?
Mm-hmm.
I rolled 20.
20?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll wait till what Evelyn rolls.
I rolled a 13.
4 and 6. Zai and Akthau both know there's a continent across the sea. 13, Evelyn knows there's a continent across the sea, and she is from it. However,
I know where she's from.
The term Galkanites could refer to any of the varied races across the continent. It is literally the most diverse place in the world. And 20 for Arabella. Arabella knows that the term Galkanite from her studies actually means somewhere along the lines redeemed with hope, which is normally a way of referring to a specific set of Terai, which would be the undead her god wants her to kill.
That's probably why she knows it.
Yep. You guys can choose to share any of that information among yourselves. That's just what everybody knows.
Hey guys, Galkan is the continent across the sea.
Hey guys, I'm from there.
The more you know.
You weird foreigner.
Whoa.
Oh hush. Oh hush, you like me well enough.
Arabella's just gonna say it's very diverse there.
Hence why I don't know much.
Yeah. Evelyn is proving invaluable.
I'm from a small governmentless town. What do you want me to know?
Oh, so you're from a
I'm
sanctuary.
saying, she actually is. She got you guys an invite. She found a chest with some pretty
Important stuff in it?
Yeah.
Like, jeez.
Hey Brandon, do we have all of these books upstairs?
Do you have all of what?
These books, all but the fourth one. Do we have copies of all of them upstairs?
You don't have Terai understanding our greatest threat.
Okay, well I'm going
You
to
have
take them too.
Okay. You haven't seen that, but you have the other two, A Century's Reflection and Struggles of Sarai. Those are both holy books.
So, in my frustration of waiting for Amphitheater to return, I'm going to get up and leave the estate.
Wait, no, Arabella's going to ask you to go with her shopping.
Okay, let's go shopping.
I have a question first. I have 2 questions, actually.
Okay.
One.
You said there were 7 things. This is only 5 things. Sorry, 6 things. Sorry.
First,
Wait, there were 4 books.
A dagger and a satchel.
Oh, a dagger and a satchel?
Yeah, but you said 7 items. That's only 6, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, there were 6 items.
first question. I know it's not getting late yet, but I was wondering where me and the other hired people would be sleeping while we're staying at this residency.
There's a barracks for you.
Okay.
Arabella's going to go, Zai. No, they're here to protect us. They will stay on the same floor that we are on.
I don't think there's room there for them.
There are additional empty rooms that have just furniture piled in the middle.
But they don't need to know that.
Okay, no, I was just telling you.
Arabella's going to wink at
Actually, Zai, go ahead and roll me a deception check because I know Akbao and Eveline were walking around
earlier.
Yeah.
Both upstairs earlier.
14 plus 2, so a 16.
All right. If anybody doesn't believe him, you can roll insight. You can do so with advantage.
I'm rolling insight.
I'm rolling insight.
21.
No!
Baby.
Where'd you go? Shoot. It was a 10 on the floor with plus 2, so 12.
You have advantage. Roll a second time.
9 plus 2, so 11.
Yeah. Evelyn just kind of nods along. Akbao, like as Evelyn nods, Akbao shakes his head. You guys have perpendicular head motions going on.
Awesome.
Arabella's just gonna again wink at Eveline and go, "You can sleep with me if you want."
Ooh.
Oh.
Right.
Eveline's gonna laugh and say, "Be careful what you offer."
All right. Well, let me just black out the stream for a little bit.
And no, Arabella's gonna say, "No, I know exactly what I'm offering."
Wow, wow.
Eveline's just gonna shrug and say, "I don't really care as long as I get a bed."
Oh, with the hard discs.
Not in a dissing way.
Yeah, I was just saying, that doesn't sound like.
Roll if it's.
That's not in a dissing way at all.
No, to me that sounds like I'll be your homestick as long as I get to sleep there. That is why I don't know if you've commented anything, Allison, but for the viewers, we have a chat group going on right now. Everybody has a nickname related to their character.
I don't.
Well, you named yourself Arabella.
No,
But,
I'm not even named yet.
oh, okay. Yeah, but I send the nickname. I make them as they become relevant. Eveline is named Future Humpstick of Group 3.
What? Really?
For the record, my nickname is a dead man.
At least you're not dead man times 3.
Speak that as you will, but my nickname is a dead man.
No, it's just dead man. It's not A. It's just dead man.
Wait, is that the group chat like off to the you click the chat thingy and it's off to the right?
No, that's our D&D wieners, or right.
Which is also an insult, apparently.
It is.
Can we please go shopping now?
You guys go shopping?
That's where I want to go next. Yes.
Okay.
Go with me.
So you guys leave to go shopping. We'll come back to you. About 10 minutes after you guys being gone, Amphitheater returns to the house. I already rolled his checks when he was coming back. Yeah, so as you guys
pass him going into town?
Yeah, do we not pass him? I feel like we would pass him.
We would turn our asses around for him.
I don't even remember what I wanted to ask him at this point, but like
you would see a Toll's carriage with like the banners moving towards the manor. But also it's followed by one more carriage too with banners with banners you don't recognize.
Yeah, when Arabella sees that, she's gonna know that she sent Amphitheater to find a suitor for the night, and she's gonna be like, "Can we go back for like just a minute?"
Your coachman rears the carriage and it comes to a stop, and you guys start turning around. You're a little ways behind.
Note, I want to note that Sai is frustrated at this.
Okay. Wait, he's frustrated at his coachman?
He's frustrated at Arabella for wanting to go back.
Arabella's gonna say, it could be Amphitheater. You were just looking for him.
Yeah, I don't care about him anymore, though.
But there's supposed to be a suitor for me.
I don't care about that guy either.
He might have lots of money.
I still don't care about that guy.
The coachman pauses and he looks at you guys with confusion. He says, "Are we going or are we
Go.
staying?"
Whatever.
Where am I?
Whatever, man. Whatever.
Akthau and Evelyn are at the house, I believe.
Oh, okay.
George, go with us because we're not allowed to travel on our own. At least.
George is with you. He silently groans. Sitting out of the 3 seats that can be occupied in the carriage, he's sitting on the one directly across from you guys. Imagine just the biggest, burliest man just kind of hunched up in this small, lush carriage.
Arabella's going to reach up for her on George's leg and say, "It's okay, I'll make it up to you."
He groans and says, "I doubt it."
She reaches into her pocket and pulls out a gold and gives it to him.
I think George would take it. He'd probably raise an eyebrow and would just pocket it without saying a word.
She said she's going to say, I know what men like. Let's go."
All right, so you guys head back to the house?
Yes. We'll go shopping in a minute.
Amphitheater is our possible amphitheater is good ways in front of you guys by the time you get your carriage turned around. By the time you come to a decision and get it turned around.
No, the decision was immediate.
I don't know if you saw the last 10 minutes of the stream. But anyways, back at the house, Amphitheater arrives. His presence and the entourage following him would be noticeable enough that whatever room Akthau and Evelyn are in, they'd notice it. Did you guys want to say anything to him?
I'll go to the door to meet him.
Amphitheater walks in.
We'll follow her.
Okay. He's looking quite satisfied. Behind him is wow. Okay. Behind him's a young soul sarai, and he has with him 3 more servants who seem to be serving maids. The man in question also looks quite proud. As he walks into the door, I gotta pull up this dude's name too.
I'm making so many friends,
Evelyn's gonna be super friendly and say welcome back and say hello to and she will say hello to the new people as well.
Okay. Me DM good. It kills me. That's the name of my DM folder.
That laugh.
Me DM good. All right.
Me DM good.
3 occasions. Probably just funny because you're, slightly buzzed.
Slightly.
Amphitheater gestures towards the man walking in and says, "May I present to you Lord Kraylor Zaishin."
Spell that.
Krelor. Zaishin. Zichsen.
Zaishin. Okay. How long
do people bow?
And the servants there bow slightly in respect. Amphitheater says, "I have found a suitor for Lady Arabella."
Evelyn does a little curtsy and says that and tells them that they just stepped out. Would you like to wait in the dining room?
He is going to raise his eye at Evelyn and say, "I wouldn't mind entertainment."
Evelyn nods. I'll go grab my lyre.
Okay, how can we get back?
Weird.
You guys arrive about 10 minutes after Amphitheater. As such, does Acta want to say anything to him?
Nah, just nod and follow. I maybe offered him a drink while she's getting her lyre.
Okay. Amphitheater actually has him waiting on the porch, and he goes and talks to several servants. And as he does, he comes back to the door with you guys and says, "The servants will prepare us a spot in the gardens."
Okay.
You guys also have to remember the inside of your house looks like ragtag hobo land.
True.
Plus, we don't have anybody in our house.
They sold all your stuff.
I guess I'll roll performance to keep them entertained / distracted until everybody else gets there.
Okay, roll me a performance check. Within maybe 5 minutes, servants are rushing with lawn chairs and benches outside. They put it under the large tree next to the house. While it is the middle of winter, near the tree there is a fireplace that servants light up. Lord, I guess he technically would be a lord. Zaishin says, "I didn't expect such the cold treatment, but what was that performance check?"
23, and I want to do prestidigitation to create like sparkling lights in the air while I perform.
He says, "I didn't expect such the cold greeting, but I must say it is turning out to be quite interesting." He waits on a bench that was placed near the hearth fire outside, or not hearth, the fire pit outside, and Amphitheater says, the four will the seasons to be the summer warm and the winter cold. As such, we should embrace both."
Smooth.
The man nods. After a few minutes, Arabella and Zai and Dirge, their carriage returns to the outside, and they walk through the gatehouse and through the lavish tolls grounds to where you guys are seated.
These are nice trees, guys.
There is a campfire.
And be like, "They're our trees. Of course, they're nice."
Yeah. As you come near, all the servants rise to their feet and bow, except for Lord Zaishin, who just rises. Amphitheater bows low and says, "May I introduce Lord Kraylor Zaishin?"
Arabella step forward and offer her hand. What is his appearance score, Brendan?
High, 15.
Let's say Evelyn lowers the music to like a background music level instead of the main entertainment.
And Arabella's gonna say, "Lord Zaishin, Arabella Tolls, nice to meet you."
He nods. Where's your dagger stored?
Mine?
Yes, it's customary that they're stored on the right side of your waist if you are looking for suitors.
Yeah, I guess that's where it would be then.
Okay. Is it sheathed or unsheathed?
I'm assuming it would be she.
Okay. He nods.
Arabella would probably have it unsheathed because, she's just flaunting it to the world that she's looking.
He nods, and you catch his eyes looking downwards. Say
You
it again?
like my sword?
Mm-hmm.
Does she recognize his name?
His name?
Like what family he would be from?
You can roll me a history check. It is small.
That's going to be a 7. So we're going to say no.
It is unheard of to Arabella. She's never heard of the Zaishans before. This guy does have only 3 serving maids with him, if that says anything.
But he's attractive, so she's okay with it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for waiting for us.
He nods and says, certainly. I was told you were seeking suitors. He says, I've received many an oath blade in my day, but none as lavish as that. I would be honored.
Arabella's just going to smile and say, we shall see. Right now, I'm just looking for someone to go to the Nakart party with.
And he's going to say, I would love to accompany you.
I have a question about the oath blades.
Yes.
I thought they were rings. Are they actual blades?
They are
actual
blades.
daggers.
But they're semblances of rings. Like, that's what you give to somebody when you want to.
Okay, so I do have a dagger.
Yes. When someone gives you one, it's kind of rude to cut things with it.
Yeah.
But it's mine. I haven't given it to anyone yet.
Yeah,
Give
I'm
it to
saying you can do it. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm just telling you what the cultures are. Like if somebody, let's say you have a ring with a stud on it that's really good for punching people. Cool. You punch people with your wedding ring that has a diamond, like intentionally. Like, hold on, let me put this on. And, ugh!
Yeah, you do what you need to do to get things done.
Yeah, people are like, wait, what? It's like, it's because this person loves me.
Arabella's gonna look at Lord Zaishan and just say, "Would you like to take a walk around the ground?"
He's going to say, he's going to look at Amphitryon and say, I believe we were here for the exchange.
Arabella's gonna raise her eyebrows and say, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, he says simply, present me with your blade, and I would be honored to I'd be honored to bring you along tonight as my invite and show the world that the toll's in the Zaishan house.
I don't know about that. It's player. I don't see Arabella just giving it away, her blade away.
He's going to roll insight, and Arabella can try and roll a deception if she wants to hide that, but he's going to see her reluctance to give away the weapon, and he's going to look to Amphitryon and say, "You sniveling swine, did you trick me here?"
And so what, Brandon?
Say it again? Yeah, you can roll deception.
It would be a 17.
He beat your deception check.
Wait, what does Radiant Soul do?
Radiant Soul?
Yeah.
Let's see. That's your ACR feat?
Yes. One of them.
I'm pretty sure you can cast the light cantrip. I'm double checking.
No, that's Lightbearer, because I have Lightbearer and Radiant Soul.
Your mom's a light bearer.
She gave birth to me, so.
Oh, true. Rip DM. Let's see. Creating a new character options. 285. $281, $283, $285. Lightbearer?
No, Radiant Soul.
Oh, Radiant Soul? Where did you get that from?
It's in the other one that JD used.
Oh, yeah. It's in Bolo's Guide to Monsters. You gotta remind me you're those ASMR. Those are ASMR. Those are ASMR sub races. Solo. Stats. You know what? I should just go buy this book.
You should.
Here we go. Let's see. Radiant Soul starting at, you don't have that yet. That's the Protector ASMR. Starting at 3rd level, you can use your action to unleash the divine energy within yourself, causing your eyes to glimmer, and 2 luminous and corporeal wings sprout from your back. Your transformation lasts until 1 minute or until you end it as a bonus action. During it, you have flying speed of 30 feet, and once on each of your turns, you can deal extra radiant damage to 1 target when you deal damage with an attack or spell. The extra radiant damage equals your level. Once you use this trait, you can't use it again until a short or long rest.
Darn. I bet I had something that was like calming.
You might have a spell Calm Emotions, Bards.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
Anyways,
Arabella's, after he speaks to Arabella's just going to place her hand on his arm and say, no, you misunderstand. I just would like to get to know you a little bit.
That hand on the arm move.
It's a staple.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Will be 18 plus whatever my persuasion is. That would be a 20.
It's going to be a 20.
Yeah, my dice love me today.
He's going to be still fuming a little bit, like turning red. His nostrils are kind of flared. He goes, and he's going to calm down and look at Arabella and say, what is there to know?
She's just going to smile brightly and say, oh, so many things.
He nods, and then he nods at Amphitheater and says, I want a public display, a social tying of our 2 houses together. And he looks back at Arabella and says, we can get to know each other quite well. And he looks at the rest of the group and says, is that all here?
Is he still offended? Can I roll perception to see if he's still offended?
You can roll insight.
Yeah, insight. That's what I meant. Okay, I lied about my dice liking me. Mm-hmm. That was a 10. No, that was a 12 because I have 5 in insight.
I mean, he looks still pretty angry, but I mean, his actions are saying something else. He seems calmer. It's kind of hard to tell.
Arabella says if we have a good time tonight, then this oath blade is yours.
What?
Out of character, I just want to say this is when you should have said, I don't want to be just another oath blade.
I feel like Katy Perry would write a song about this.
He nods again and says, thank you, my lady. And
think more or less.
He begins walking away.
Arabella's going to stop him and just ask, Lord, what is his last name again?
Zyshin.
Can you tell me more about the nade parts?
Actually, would he know anything about them? He says, certainly. What do you wish to know?
Well,
There is a shakiness in his words. Most people pick up on it.
Arabella's just going to say, our families do not have the best of ties, and I hope to correct that.
He raises an eyebrow and says, and what's that have to do with the Nakarts?
That's the party that we're going to tonight. Is it not? Am I crazy?
It is, but
Yeah.
If you want to improve the relations of your family, what specifically do you want to know about the Nakarts?
Well, I want to be able to get the lady of the house a gift as a sign of my, I don't know, that I am not the same as everyone thinks that our family is. And I want to impress her.
Yeah.
He's. Oh, what's up? Okay. He's gonna say, I would worry less about seeking favor with the Nakarts. They are very, very, very removed. Their servants handle most of their dealings. If you'd like to increase your family's reputation, I would seek favor with the Risen. Anybody who knows, or rather anybody can roll a history check on that. Arabella does know the Risen is a faction of queens in training from a foreign country.
You said history?
Yes.
What is 3 plus 15?
18.
Yeah, I got an 18.
You know the Risen are the faction of girls from in training to become queen from Ililnagai. However, the only ones Arabella's ever dealt with were the Risen of Grace, who did charity work back in Hellenis.
Does anybody else know anything about them? Oh man, what did I do? I'm gonna take that as a no since I'm getting no answers.
I shrugged.
Wait, what?
You can roll a history check to see if you know.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll roll a history check.
Kraylor told you not to seek favor with the Nakarts, but instead with the Risen.
That's a 3. Never mind.
I roll history check.
Zai is actually just drunk right now.
Wait, I lost my die.
Rip.
Where'd you go? Wait, I have another one somewhere.
Why isn't the
Oh, there it
song
is.
repeating?
I don't know. 17 plus history 1, so 18.
18? You know the same thing as Arabella does, which would be the Risen, once again, are girls in training from Ililnagai who are training to become queen. And there are different factions of them, each one devoted to a different ideal. And you know that the Risen of Grace do charity work in foreign countries.
Okay.
Hey, Brandon, would Arabella know if it's possible to actually become part of this society?
She wouldn't. Also, no foreigner has just. I guess that would be a history check. As a DM, I never included a foreigner in the ranks.
Time to change things, isn't it?
If that's something Arabella wants to strive for. I will send you messages about that later.
Okay, perfect.
Does anybody else want to say anything to Greylord?
I'm not gonna say anything. Just nope.
Eva's gonna bow and say thank you for being such a gracious audience despite the cold weather.
Arabella's gonna give Eve the eye, like the evil eye.
He nods to Evelyn and says, "Your music made it quite pleasant."
Arabella's gonna smile and just say, I can't wait till later this evening.
He says, "Nor can I." Is that all?
Arabella will nod.
He returns your nod and begins walking towards your guys' gatehouse. His 3 servants bow and follow.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Bye. Be safe.
Shopping.
Bye. Safe travels.
It's kind of that awkward walk where you know somebody's watching you and you don't want to turn around. I'm doing just like, come on, keep walking. Just keep
One
walking.
last look.
So he makes a face like this.
Smile at Zai again and go, okay, now it's time to go shopping.
All right. About
If he loves her,
time.
he'll look back.
Arabella will say first.
He does not look back.
He don't care about you.
You don't need that over.
For the record, Zai has had about 8 goblets of beer or ale.
Yeah,
So
Arabella
he's
said, how about we stop by the tavern first and get you another cup of ale, brother?
Sure. Yes.
How about you, Dirge?
I'm not trying to overwhelm you guys with NPCs' names. Y'all are just doing things to meet lots of people, by the way.
That's fine.
Just saying, you're in a very populated place.
It's okay, Brandon. I
All
take
right.
people notes.
Sam's
Yeah,
taking
say-
notes from me tonight because
I'm
I can't
sorry.
wait.
I'm sorry for all the name dropping because it's a lot. It's a lot for me to keep up with, but y'all just keep doing things.
Well, hey, Ben, if you want, I'll share my doc with you that just has people we meet and little descriptions of them.
Yeah, that'd
Alright.
be cool.
Do
When
it.
we're
Put
done.
it on the Google Drive so we can all see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
you
on,
can-
it's on Google already.
You can make it in the folder if you like. You guys should all have ability to edit the folder.
Oh, well, I mean, I keep it as my personal notes.
Yeah.
So I was just going to share it.
Yeah, so you guys head to the tavern. Do Evelyn and Akbao head with?
Sure.
What's Akbao doing in all this?
I was just doing nothing.
All right. You watched the exchange though with Lord Craylord?
I wasn't paying attention. I didn't care.
Oh, fair enough.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, Dirge leans over to you and says, Reiners. That is an insult.
Did we hear that?
He'd say real low under his breath.
I just laughed.
But still, would I hear that?
I mean, you can roll a perception check, but you probably wouldn't. Real high DC.
I'm going to try it, though. Because, like I've already told you, Arabella's a little nosy. Perception check, you said?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a 19.
You do not hear it.
Dang.
Damn. It was worth a shot.
Yeah, I mean, Dirge and Akbao are a decent distance away from you, just watching what happens. Plus, with the whistling wind, the mist, and everything, it's kind of hard to notice they're talking to each other, and then they're talking under their breath. So
So let's do the tavern.
from the most you can see, yeah, Dirge just tells Akbao a funny joke. But
Me and
Yeah,
Dirk
you
talk
got-
about how much we hate our jobs.
yeah, so you guys head towards the tavern. Does Akbao go with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
seeing as the quote for a bodyguard is covered, Dirge stays behind.
Arabella's going to say, I'll buy you an ale.
He'd say, I'd rather not be cramped and uncomfortable right now. I'll get some from the manor.
Arabella's just going to look at him and say, you know if something happens to us, you don't get paid.
No, I'm going to give Dirge a gold piece and say, you enjoy as much ale as you want at the estate.
He nods and walks in. The rest of the party begins walking towards the gatehouse. I believe, right?
Yep.
Hey, did I tell Arabella about Dirge almost getting into a fight with people at the tavern?
Yeah,
He
I did
did?
earlier.
Oh, well, then she definitely would not want to be around Dirge. I take that statement back.
Zai is stopped as the rest of the party walks off. Amphitheater.
Does Arabella notice that Zai stopped? Because she won't leave without Zai.
I mean, he's stopped behind the rest of the party. Amphitheater intentionally waits. He pulls Zai aside and says, brings him next to the fire and says, "Good master, the key to the vault. I need that back. I don't want anyone else getting wrapped up down there."
Don't forget to ask about the skeleton.
Yeah, sure. Here's the key, but I have one question for you.
He nods.
So there was a few skeletons down there. What was that all about?
He raises an eyebrow and says, "Wait, a few?"
3, I think, to be exact.
Just 2, I think.
He scratches his head and says, "That stone kept summoning one."
What's stone?
The one that Arabella has in her pocket?
Oh.
And
Why?
said,
So why would
I
you?
thought if we locked it up down there, it would just get stuck behind the door.
Yeah, but did you not think that it could possibly spawn more than one?
He shakes his head and says, "The guards at the manor killed it each time it would come. I just assumed it was the same one."
So, this was one of Sona's items that she had in her room?
We found it the night we were moving out her stuff.
In her room?
Amphitheater nods and kind of his head drops a little bit.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
You can.
A 6?
I love how we can all hear it.
Yeah. Amphitheater looks sad. He doesn't seem to be appearing to hide it, but if he was, Zai wouldn't be able to tell. Do
All right.
rolls because I'm drink.
So what about there was also a scroll with the stone. It was a scroll of animate dead. What do you know about that?
As you say that, Amphitheater, his head kind of shoots up and says, "Are you accusing me of something?"
I don't necessarily think I am, but the fact that you think I am makes you sound a little guilty.
He says, "I have served your family with the utmost of diligence and devotion." And then he whispers and says, "I've hid bodies for you. I've hired daggers in the dark for you. I would never do anything to hurt the mistress."
Zai kind of sighs and says, "Well, I believe you, but I don't know. All of this seems very peculiar to me."
He He just nods and says, I haven't figured it out myself. However, it's not for you to concern yourself with. The deeper my investigation gets, the more I'm finding the mistress turn to wilder magics in her final days.
All right. So as Amphitheater says that, I put my hand on his shoulder and clutch it very tightly and say to him, "It's imperative that you tell me that what you know about her disappearance, if you know anything else."
Roll me a persuasion check.
Woo woo! You got this.
You can do it.
Hey.
Told ya. The only time you're useful.
In the coldness of the wind, you actually see a few tears coming from Amphitheater's eyes before he wipes them, and his voice quivers a little bit, and he says, "I found things I'm not proud to say I found. She was a good lady. I was proud to serve her."
I reply back to him and I say, "I do not doubt that, but if you know anything, you must tell us."
He whispers and says, "She didn't always have these meetings, but the more I look into her stuff and follow her footsteps, she was following or part of cults dealing with the undead. She asked for little bits of information here and there about it, and I didn't think much of it at first until now that I'm trying to piece it all together."
Well, Amphitheater, I just want you to know that we're on your side. You know, she was our cousin, so we care about her just as much as you did, and we just want to get to the bottom of this and figure everything out so we can all have closure. I appreciate the information.
He nods and says, "The Tolles family has always had a less than reputable reputation, but we have never been dark sorcerers. We've never been shatterers. I keep this information to yourself until I find out what truly happened to her."
Don't worry, my friend. You have my word. Go about your day. Actually, as a matter of fact, I feel like this is weighing heavily on your mind, so I want you to take the day off tomorrow to rest and spend the day with your wife.
He nods and says, he wipes another tear from his eyes and says, "Yes, I will rest." Somehow you think he's lying.
Okay.
I mean, you can roll insight, but he got a 5 on that, or a 6.
Two nat ones. How does that happen?
Zai's just like, "Yeah, I did a good thing." Amphitheater's like, "Snitch, I ain't resting. I got stuff to find."
Hey. Crap. Never mind.
Amphitheater says, "Thank you, my lord," and begins walking back to the manor.
So I just want to ask: does anybody else hear that conversation?
Can I roll a perception this time?
As soon as Arabella noticed that Zai had stopped, she would have stopped for him.
The rest, yeah, eventually the party, after they get a decent ways away from you, would notice. But he brought you over to the fire, which there's probably about 4 feet high of burning wood burning right now to keep this whole area warm. So the flames are kind of crackling, and with the low voice, it's extremely difficult to make out anything.
Can I roll a perception for it?
Can I roll perception?
You can.
Same.
Do I need to roll against that, Brandon?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Perception. Yeah, that's gonna be.
DC would be 25.
Yeah, no. See, I rolled a nat 20, but my highest perception is a 23.
Yep. Yeah.
17.
17.
So
Yeah. Nobody hears. I mean, just player, or rather DM to players. The only way you could like pass that check is if like Eveline poked somebody and said, "Hey, look, they're saying something over there. Pay attention," and gave like a bardic inspiration die. Then you have the chance. But yeah.
Hey,
Otherwise,
I have
yeah.
a question, JD. Can
I
Eric?
am Brandon, but cool.
Sorry, I was messaging JD. I was sending JD a message about Erica. Sorry, Brandon. Can Arabella call out to him and tell Amphitheater that they have a guest coming tomorrow, and to at least ready the first couple rooms in the house with anything you can find?
Yeah, you can say that to him. He nods and he's game mechanically broken. Zai just told him to take the day off, and Arabella just told him to ready a room. And the DM is gonna let him.
The night he's still working.
Okay, fair enough.
I told him to take tomorrow off.
Yeah, tomorrow.
He's gonna nod and yell, "I will make sure it's done."
Hey, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, go to the tavern now.
Yeah, you guys head towards the tavern. So, by the way, for that last RP interaction with Kraylor, Amphitheater's roles were, is anybody interested in marrying Arabella without fear of being killed? Got a 75 on that check. Amphitheater rolled a persuasion check to convince people to come back with him to the manor. He got a 16 on his persuasion check, and then I rolled a d4 of how many people would follow him, and it was one lord. So that is how you guys got Kraylor.
Arabella is kind of beauty in the fact that she does not plan to marry anybody who is with her station. The fact that she doesn't recognize his name, that's why she's not willing to give him her oath blade.
Sam, the player, recognizes his name.
I'm just saying that's why I asked if Arabella would recognize his name.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy, for anyone who's been watching the other sessions, is has the same name as an NPC who got his butt beat up, and well, not the same name, has the same family name as an NPC who got his butt beat up in Group 2's second session. So
Yes.
We'll wait for Ben to get back before we do the tavern, and then I guess we can end it there. It's 9:18. I can handle my rolls of who's in the tavern already.
Hey, Brandon, just player to DM. You know who I want to be in that tavern.
Oh, yeah, I know who you want to be in the tavern. The chances of you finding them are very, 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 very slim. I believe you know what happened last time you guys were there.
I wasn't there last time.
Yeah, last time your party was there, though.
Yeah, but I wasn't there.
Yeah, that lady got mad and went upstairs.
You know who I want to be in the tavern?
Yeah, I do.
The hot girl that scares you to death?
Yes.
Okay, Ben's back. Let's go.
All right,
Alright,
when
let's do
Ben get
things.
back? How come,
seconds
like,
ago.
I literally look at
Just
one
that.
other screen and then look back and then people are here.
I
Y'all cheat.
literally just sat down.
Minus 500 EXP for everyone.
Hey,
I'll kill you, Bernie.
Only has 5.
All right. So, do.
Level 1 forever.
Going to the tavern.
Yes.
Yeah. What tavern do you guys go to?
You want to go to the same one as before?
Can I take
Arabella wouldn't know which one.
I'm gonna try to take them to a different one.
Yeah, I was going to say, the only people who know the tavern they went to were Zai and Dirge.
Yeah, but Arabella knows that they went to the tavern, and she's going to ask if she can go to the same one.
Somar Villa is a very, very nice and decently sized town. There are many taverns here of all different well, most of them are very high quality. So you want to roll a deception check, Ben, for Zai? So you gonna try and take him to a different tavern?
Yeah. 21 plus 2, so 23.
So do I need to roll something against that?
I mean, if you're suspicious of your brother, you can. But otherwise, he says, yeah, I'll take you guys to the tavern.
I'm rolling. What is that? I can't see it.
12.
Yeah, okay. So
yeah, so where do you lead them, Ben? Remember the one you went to last time was the one closest to the Toll's house.
Yeah,
I think I named that one Wall Grief. Was that the name of it?
Yeah, that's what I have written down.
Okay.
Why not the tavern furthest, or the tavern closest to the other family's house if you're trying to learn more about the other family?
yeah, that's legit. That's a good place to go. Arabella would not get upset with Zai if he did that.
Yeah, I'll take him to that tavern.
See, I'm useful.
All right.
Thanks, Allison.
So, which family do you guys go near?
Nacart. We want it to be close to the Nacart.
The Nacart's tavern. Yeah.
Okay. You guys get there, and I'm actually just gonna roll a random name for this one because I didn't have it generated. Wow, that's kind of funny. I clicked a random name, and there's a political intrigue thing going on here. And the name of the tavern was basically the answer to everything that's been going on. So we're not going to do that.
No, do it. Come on,
Do it.
Roll again, man. Don't spoil it.
Yeah,
this roll again. Don't spoil it for us.
This one is named The Naked Eninia.
Spell that.
I like the sound of this.
Me too. Arabella's going to be very happy.
So this is more of a brothel than a tavern.
It's just a strip club.
Beautiful.
The Naked So the name is Eninia. Enia. Any characters can roll a nature check on the name for free.
I will do that.
I'll roll. Everybody will roll.
Ooh, 18. What is? Do I have anything in nature?
Acthal can do it with Acthal, and Evelyn can do it with advantage.
I got a 19.
I got a 5.
All right.
13 and 3, so 13.
As it is commonplace for young boys of this nation to receive falcons and raise them and then release them into the wild, Zai has some knowledge on the bird species of the world, as does Arabella, just from her tutors. And you got a 13 and a 13?
13 and a 3.
Oh, 13 and a 3? Evelyn has heard the name Enia whispered in legends all around Galkin. But Zai and Arabella both know they are, and Enia refers to like a legendary bird, like a phoenix. A phoenix is a type of them, but there are many different elements of them. There's
so Moltres, basically.
Yeah. There's a frost one, there's a air one, there's an earth one, and they're not one. Like these are species of birds.
Headcanon, it's Moltres.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the headcanon there.
Apollo was the phoenix, man. Moltres was just a bird. The fire.
I have one of those with Phoenix. Let's go.
They are extremely hard to find, but yeah. And once again, the subject or the prefix en denotes death.
Deathbird.
So, what did you say it was? Enia, and Enia?
Yes.
So, death, bird.
The IA denotes life. So En, death, or the Enia is death, life, meaning how they got their name. They die and come back to life.
Okay.
However, this tavern seems to be named the Naked Dead Phoenix or something of the sort.
Okay.
All right.
The etymology there.
Just letting you guys know why stuff's named the way it is. So you guys arrive at this tavern, and once again, in a coincidental type of situation, you'd expect this tavern to be populated, but there are quite a few people standing outside.
May I ask what time of the day it is?
It is late afternoon, rolling into the evening.
Okay.
You'd expect this tavern to be populated, and while there are quite a few people standing outside, as you go inside, there seem to be only 3 people. Once again, at a table in the back, they're having a conversation. They're having a conversation with themselves, and they seem quite frustrated. And then all of them at once stand up and leave. Drinking alone at the bar is a man with very palish features. And in the tavern light, his skin has a green tint to it, very similar to your barbarian dirge.
So it's a half orc.
Eve is going to go sit next to him and motion to get herself a drink and say hi.
Is there a seat on the other side of him?
He is alone in this tavern.
Yes.
Everybody has left.
So Arabella's going to go sit on the other side of him.
As Eve and Arabella sit down next to him, he looks to the side. He looks to either side of him. Knocks his fist against the wood, and says, "Keep 2 rounds for the ladies who just walked in."
Aw, thank you.
Arabella's going to smile and extend her hand and say, "Arabella Tolls, nice to meet you."
A grizzled hand encompasses yours, completely enveloping it. As it does, you see many scars along the tops of his wrists, or the tops of his hands. And he just growls and says, "Gavrillo."
Eve is going to do the same and say, "You can just call me Eve."
He nods, having already given his name.
So why are you here alone?
That's the rude thing to ask.
No, it's not. I can roll charisma for it, can't I?
I mean, you haven't did much of anything that merits a check.
Oh.
What were you trying to roll charisma for?
Him not being like
Offended?
standoffish. Yeah, offended as to why we just came and sat by him when he was obviously wanting to be alone.
I mean,
like,
he doesn't initially react to your comment, and then says, don't rightly try to be alone. Just tends to be a side effect. Living around here with all these fancy folk.
Arabella's going to say, yes, they can be stuffy from time to time. But I promise some of us are better than that.
Eva's going to raise an eyebrow and look at Arabella and say, they. Jokingly, of course.
Beating...
She called herself fancy because she said...
beating him to the punchline, Gavrilo kind of clenches his goblet and says, "Swift to the tongue." I like that. I was gonna say that.
I'm gonna roll to see if Arabella gets offended at that. Okay, no, she doesn't. She doesn't.
If you don't want Arabella to be offended, you might be in the wrong place.
Eve just laughs and nods.
After a moment, the tavern keep brings out 2 more goblets and puts a pitcher of wine on the bar in front of you guys.
Zai is gonna grab the pitcher of wine and chug it.
No, he is not. Arabella's going to stop him from doing that. She wants the wine.
Roll me a reflex save, then.
Oh.
All right.
Reflex save.
Actually, you can roll me a opposed strength save or opposed strength check if you want.
Does is he like walking? Because he's had like 8 things of ale.
Hey, that's a nat 19, nat 20.
Then I'm sorry. As Zai stumbles towards the pitcher and reaches for it, Zai seems focused on what he wants, and without even looking, Gavrilo's hand shoots up next to him and grabs Zai's hand, stopping it in air. You are effectively affected by the grapple condition, Finn, but it doesn't seem threatening.
Okay.
I'll pull out my bow and aim it at the guy's head.
What the fuck?
No, everybody's going to stand up in front of that and say, watch it. This is not necessary.
He picked...
bodyguard, man.
Yeah.
There you go, Shaq. Role playing like a boss.
Yeah.
Eva's just gonna shake her head and keep laughing as she pours herself some wine.
He pushes Arabella out of the way. I can roll him an attack roll or a shove roll for you if you'd like, Sam, but it's probably gonna hit you unarmored.
Yeah, like my AC is like a 9 right now.
Still holding Zai. He shoves Arabella across the room. She flies maybe 8 feet towards the empty tables in the room, as kind of like one hand to her face and then a ludicrous "Move, snitch! Get out the way!" He opens his arms wide, swinging Zai with him as he does, and says, "Take the shot."
Yeah, man, I got this. Let's go.
Eva's gonna stand up, rolling her eyes, and say, "All right, calm down. We all came here for just a drink. Put that down. You go over there. Go make sure she's okay. Now let's go sit back down."
Okay.
Jeez, we can't go anywhere with y'all.
I put my bow away and realized the error of my ways.
He's gonna make a strength check at you using an improvised ranged weapon, nat 20. Still being ragdolled in his grip, he yanks Zai towards him, heaves him up in the air, and rears back and says, "I thought you had more guts than that," and launches Zai forward at Aknau.
I'm just trying to drink
I'm
wine.
acrobatics check.
I'm just trying to drink wine.
I'm gonna try to roll away.
You can roll me a acrobatics check as in place of a reflex save.
16, 12.
You would not beat his save DC, and you would not also beat his attack roll against you. Zai takes a D6 of bludgeoning damage for falling and being pushed against the wall forcefully. Akthau also takes a D6 of damage as Zai is literally catapulted into him.
Wait,
How
can
much?
you?
5 for Zai and 4 for Akthau.
God, are you serious? 5?
Can Arabella stand up and walk towards him and say, please, they meant nothing by it?
Wait,
I'm just trying to drink some
that's
wine.
what I was gonna do.
He does not at all look angry. He kind of seems enthused.
I was like, can Eve like? I'm gonna steal Arabella's thing. Place a hand like on his chest or something and say, "Easy, big fella. They were just trying to mess around. Don't pay them no mind. Now, come on, let's get back to our wine."
Because
he just threw you across the room.
Roll me a perception or persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Yes.
What do I add to that? 14.
14?
Yeah.
He, as you say that, he shakes his head and says, "No, I was looking for a good time. Knew I wouldn't find it here with these lily-lipped nobles." He's gonna walk by Zai and Akthau, like on the ground, and just say, "Sorry." And he walks out of the tavern.
Zai's gonna stand up and say, "Who you calling lily-lipped?"
Eva's just gonna facepalm and drink her wine.
He stops at the door and says, "You're gonna do something to prove me or to prove otherwise, lily lipped."
I might. What are you gonna do about it, big guy?
He unfastens his robes and rolls up his sleeves. Underneath, he's wearing frayed wool trousers that seem like they've seen some use. While his robes are an elegant red and blue, are red and magenta. His chest is a very burly, scarred one. You'd imagine there'd be hair on it if there was a place that hair could grow through the scarred flesh. However, before you stands a very muscular man that stands almost a foot or nearly a foot taller than you.
Is this actually Stormier?
No, it is not. He introduced himself as Gavrillo. You asked him what is he gonna do about it?
Yeah.
He says, "I don't have to do anything. I'm not the one who's lily-lipped."
That's right, man. So leave.
I pull out my bow and I shoot at him.
Oh shit!
It's going down.
All right, give me an attack roll.
All right.
Somebody gonna die.
20
You're level 1 against this guy.
plus 6.
Right.
All right, give me 1 second. I actually didn't expect you guys to do more than a few passing blows with him, so we'll see.
You disrespected my employer.
Shaq is the man.
Says the guy who's supposed to be like quiet and not make any noise.
Yeah, but you don't know how Zai is when he's drunk.
I was gonna say he's drunk.
Is there some? Can I just like throw cold water in his face and make him go to bed until the party?
You see at first lightning quick reflexes from him, almost of a lifetime of practice.
Wow.
His eyes trace the arrow coming through the air, and it looks as though he is about to move out of the way. Just as he is about to, he kind of regains control of himself and stays planted, firm. And just as quickly as he caught Sai's hand, his hand shoots upwards and grabs the arrow.
Wow.
Cool.
I bow to him and I tell him that I didn't know you were a real nigga. I apologize.
He stops before turning the arrow around and midway throwing it back at you. And he also begins laughing and says, "No, it's you who's the real one. Took a lot of guts to take the shot. And I respect that." And he drops the arrow.
Cool.
And then they have the most elaborate handshake of all time.
Put my bow away.
He looks at the keep and says, "That one's drinks and food are also on me." What's Zai doing? Is Zai still on the ground?
Zai is literally rolling around on the ground laughing.
He's gonna spit on the ground towards Zai and walk out.
Eva's gonna ask the keep for a giant bucket of ice water and then walk over and pour it on Zai. And say, "You idiot."
I can't even right now. Can I roll a reflex save against that?
Yeah,
No.
you can.
You're too drunk.
18?
Yeah, Zai sees the water coming and rolls out of the way. As after a few moments, once Gavrillo's gone, slowly people begin to flood back into the bar.
Does anybody look attractive?
Not familiar. Attractive.
Does anyone not look attractive is the better question.
Does anyone
You
look
know where
familiar?
you're at, right? Just saying.
Okay, does anybody look more attractive than others?
Hey, and sorry for the insult, but the people in this bar hanging out in front of the Nacart Manor before the party tonight are the wannabes who are kind of trying to prop themselves up for a invite. You see a good number of good-looking people, but they're on the I can see how you're cute scale rather than oh my gosh that person's ravaging.
So none of the no beautiful people.
Yeah, you see 12s and 14s here.
Yeah.
What you trying to say? 14 ain't beautiful?
14 is beautiful, but I'm just saying.
17.
Yeah, 14 is like walking past someone. It's like, oh my gosh, that's a super cute person. 15 and 16 is where you get into like your model status.
And you're 17 and 18?
Literally Jesus.
Yeah, most of the time Lil Fira stops rooms when she walks in.
Is there anybody that looks familiar there?
Yeah, does anybody look familiar?
You can roll me perception checks.
Yeah, I don't think that 12 is going to get me anything. What do I have on my perception? Hold on.
I got a 12 too.
I got to look and see what my thing on perception is because I don't know right now. That will be a 15.
initially, you guys don't notice anything. What are you guys doing while you're at the tavern, and how long do you stay?
I'm still sitting at the bar drinking my free wine.
Okay.
Arabella's just gonna sit next to Eve and just chat and watch people walk in and out.
Okay.
Somebody she knows or
What
somebody.
are Zai and Acthou doing?
Zai is like stumbling around, still complaining about the wine.
I'm just contemplating the realness I just witnessed.
When she's gonna motion to the barkeep and say, "Can we please just get him some wine so he will shut his mouth?"
He nods and says, "I'll put it on Gavrielo's tab."
Arabella's gonna smile and say, "Well, thank you, sir."
Eve looks at you and she says, shouldn't we get him a little sobered up before the party, though? Because this could be troublesome once we get there. They already don't like y'all.
Maybe if he gets so drunk he'll pass out and we can leave him at home and have real fun at the party.
Well,
That's on you. And she just kind of sips her wine.
After you guys talk for a moment, the tavern keep does bring Zai a goblet of wine, but Eve and Arabella would notice two honor guards of the Urabai family here. They have their colors and crest on.
Can Arabella approach them?
Yes. These were the people who accompanied Lilfear to your manor earlier.
So she recognizes.
Hey.
She's going to be like, "Nice to see you again."
As these are just low-ranking guards, they bow and say, "Lady Tolls."
Arabella's going to smile and say, "Well, none of that."
They've come back up from their bow and say, "Well, we were just here for a drink and to stay the night while the rest of our group settles in for the evening."
Hey, my roommate says hi, everyone, by the way.
hey,
Dominique.
What's that?
Hello, roommate.
So, Brandon, Arabella's going to say, "Well, come to the bar and I'll buy you a drink."
Will she? Or will Gavrilo buy them a drink?
Depends on what the barkeep says.
Keep putting it on his tab, get him pissed off at us.
No, Arabella will do it. Arabella will buy them a drink.
All right. As Arabella goes to buy him a drink, the tavern keep looks at you and says, "Do you want to get them what you're drinking, or do you want them to have ales?"
Whatever they want.
What a whole cask of wine.
The one who hasn't taught says, "Right, I ain't never had a drink quite as fancy as that."
Well, look like it's about time to try.
The bartender just kind of puts his eyebrows together and said, that'll be 1 gold, and brings out another silver goblet and fills it halfway with the wine that you're drinking.
Arabella will take out a gold and pay for it.
Okay. The one guard who asked for it grabs it with a shaky hand, splashing it quite a bit as some falls on the counter. He brings it to his lips and drinks and says, "Oh, that's good." And still with the shaky hand, goes to put it back down on the bar and then drops it. The silver clings against the floor as the wine spills against it.
Arabella's gonna reach out and touch the man's arm and say, "Are you okay?"
The bartender looks at him and says, That was good crafted silver. You better not have scratched my goblet. The man looks at Arabella and says, I can't pay for that. He picks it up and inspects it. The goblet does not look damaged.
Arabella's going to take it from his hand and hand it back to the keep and say, I think that'll be all.
Yeah. The other one says, I'll just have a mug of ale.
And Arabella will hold up 2 fingers and say, go ahead and get him one as well, referring to the other guard who just dropped the wine.
He looks at you and says, thank you, my lady. You're most gracious. The bartender has a cocked eyebrow towards you, kind of the one of, I've got my eye on you.
Me?
He doesn't say anything.
Arabella's just going to wink at him.
He goes, just like, that's not getting you out of this. But otherwise, he doesn't seem to interrupt you.
So how much do I owe him for the ales?
As he puts them down, he says 2 silver each.
Arabella would pay that.
Okay.
Eve refills her wine glass and then goes to wander around the bar, leaving Arabella with the 2 guards. Thinking,
Okay.
She's got this.
Were these not the people you guys were trying to talk to?
They were the ones that I was trying to talk to.
All right, what do you want?
So Arabella's going to just say, so tell me about your employers.
He says, Lord I just took up a new position in the capital. Slowly, we're all relocating there to serve him.
Hey,
And
Brandon,
so it was quite, yes,
can I roll a perception check to see if I can hear the entire conversation?
you can sit next to them if you'd like. You are technically her bodyguard.
You are my
Let me sit
bodyguard.
next to them so I can hear it.
Okay. Yeah, he says that, and then he continues and says, it was quite the rage in the capital. They threw a party for the master last night. Or, no, 2 nights ago, I'm sorry, because we moved the time forward.
Arabella says, well, he is. I surely am grateful for his kindness of letting us go to the Nacart party in his stead.
He begins to blush a little bit and says, yes, of course. He is most gracious.
Eve can overhear this and just kind of giggles to herself.
Arabella's going to look at him and say, and that beautiful woman that was with you before, tell me about her.
He begins to, his blush deepens and said, she's not actually traveling with us. She's simply a courtesan the leader of our group met. Their private dealings are their private dealings.
That's understandable.
And then he's going to say, she can be rather persuasive, though.
Arabella's going to raise an eyebrow and be like, persuasive how?
He goes from holding his ale and then brings his hands in the air and says, and just kind of gestures to his chest. And says, it's not, and the other guard says, it's not right proper to talk about.
Eve also shivers, remembering the fear that she had put in her as well,
So
knowing that there was more than one way to be persuasive.
So Arabella is going to like rub her hand up because she's still holding the guy's arm. She's gonna rub her hand up and down and say, "It's okay. We're not all proper."
Y'all, damn.
But arm handshake though.
All right.
Arm.
I'm telling you, though, such a person, it changed the way they react to you.
It is worth noting this tavern is populating quite heavily now that Gavrillo's gone.
Is there anyone that Eve sees of interest?
Roll me a perception check.
Is he gonna respond to what Arabella said?
We will see.
14.
Eve notices a few eyes looking directly towards Arabella. Other than that, as far as interesting people, she does notice one person also from the Iravi house who came in and got a table. There seems to be a seat at the table for 5 other people, but he's sitting alone. Other than that, she doesn't notice anyone.
Eve will go up to him and say, "Can I sit here?"
He says, "No, this is for my companions. They'll be along shortly." The man doesn't respond to Arabella, by the way.
Well, surely I could keep you company until they get here.
He inspects Evelyn and says, "Well, I don't see why that would be a problem."
Yay, Evelyn just smiles as she takes the seat next to him. So what has you in town?
We're gonna hop over to Arabella still, and then we'll come back to Evelyn. Does Arabella say anything else to the guard? He's just kind of like, shakingly drinking his ale.
So,
not making eye contact with her at all.
Does he look like afraid?
You can roll me an insight.
Oh, hey, I have +5 to insight, so let's do that. That's an 18. +5, so that was
he does look afraid and pretty uncomfortable.
Arabella will say, she will just smile at him and say, "Well, if it makes you feel like that, I guess I'll just have to find out for myself."
What did she say before that, by the way?
If it makes you uncomfortable, I'll just have
I'm saying, what was the other statement that she suggested something?
She just said, he said, it's not proper to talk about. And she said, "Well, we're not all proper here."
Yeah. He's going to look at you and say, "What do you mean by that?"
Arabella's just going to smile and say, "Well, she's awful pretty. I would like to get to know her."
He says, "Oh, yes, of course, her." And says, she's very open sometimes. You should seek her. She's in town at the Woolgreave.
At the what?
The Woolgreave Inn.
Eve kind of shoots Arabella a look from across the room. This is my woman.
Arabella's gonna smile and say, "Well, thank you. I might just go there that way soon."
He nods and says, "Yes. Anything for a tolls lady."
Arabella's gonna nod her head, and then she's gonna stand and say, "I think it's about time that we go." And she's gonna look at her party members and just like motion to the door with her head.
All right, so ping-ponging back to Evelyn before this happens. What's Evelyn say to this guy?
So what has you in town?
He gives the same information, traveling through, going to meet up with his house is slowly relocating to the capital. And Somar Villa is pretty much a nexus of roads leading into the capital from the south and east.
I'm thinking. Okay, she's gonna ask, like she's just being really friendly. She's gonna ask, so what's your favorite thing to do in town?
He says Lilfear. I'm kidding.
No,
Is there anybody that hasn't done her?
And Somar Villa, I gotta look at that stupid book. Y'all making me pull out dumb research.
I feel like half the time it's me too that's making you look things up.
Let's see. He says, well, the sages' temples here are some of the best in the world. Lady Nakart keeps all the sages well funded so they can carry out their works in the region unhindered. I very much enjoy praying at their temples and reading some of the tales of other great Sarai that have come through these parts.
Oh, really? That actually does sound really interesting. This is my first time coming here, so I'm still trying to figure my way around.
The man says, Lady Nakart has 4 sages that live on her property, while the rest of her manor is most of the time closed off to visitors if she's not throwing a ball. The sages are always accessible. It's one of my favorite things to get guidance from the many different voices of the nation.
She's going to say, my name is Eve, by the way, and if you're free someday while you're still in town, maybe you could show me around and show me these sages?
Hey, this guy was Jayek. That's who it was.
Huh?
That was Ranny's. That was Ranny's dude. Jayek was. Yeah, he gives you his name, Jayek. I don't know if you guys remember at the start of the session, I had a name written down that I couldn't remember who it was.
So the guy I'm talking to is Jayek.
Yes.
How do you spell that again?
Jaech. He actually has done Lilfear.
Of course. Question still stands. If he would show Eve around one day.
He nods and says, if our paths align. I don't plan on being in town much longer.
Eve gives a flirty smile and says, I have a feeling they will.
He's gonna like tilt his head and at your smile, and he's just gonna raise from his chair and say, it's been a pleasure, but I'm tired of women trying to realign my fate today. And he nods and walks towards the back of the tavern.
Eve nods and laughs.
Manipulate me once with sex, shame on me. Or shame on you. Manipulate me twice, shame on me.
Eve nods and laughs, saying, I get that way more than you probably realize. I respect that.
All right. By this time, Eve sees the rest of her party standing up. What is Akbao and Zai doing?
I offer Eve comfort after that burn.
Here's some cold water for you.
Literally rolling around on the floor drunk.
All right, so the party leaves the tavern.
Sure. Someone's gonna have to help Zai up though.
I was going to say somebody's gonna have to like help die and lean on him. Let him lean on them.
Not it. I have a strength of 9.
Not
you
it.
You guys want to call it there, or you want to bar hop one more time before the party? Y'all pre-gaming pretty hard.
Let's call it there.
I've only had like 3 glasses of wine.
I want it to be known that Arabella has not drank anything.
Zai's on like 8 or 9 glasses of ale at this point.
You know who's gonna have a great time at this party?
Who?
Zai. He's gonna be like, y'all, it's lit, y'all, yeah.
He's literally gonna
He's
be.
gonna tell me next
Hey guys, anything can happen.
I was gonna say we could send Zai home with one of the guards, and me and Arabella could go bar hop to the next bar.
Exactly.
No, Zai's not going home. Zai doesn't go home.
Arabella's gonna tell Zai, please do not embarrass us. We are new to this town. Please
Well,
just
he's gotta go home to get ready for the ball.
Hey, I got this.
Arabella's gonna go, did you see what happened in there? No, you do not have this. Go.
Zai's gonna repeat, hey, I got this.
And Arabella.
I'm going. Or we can call it there. That's the general?
I was like, can we roll perception, telling him that there's like more ale waiting on him at home, and we're just going to shop for jewelry or something?
I mean,
to get him to go home without us.
You probably could, but then Dirge would pick up Zai and bring him back out.
Well, that's why
like,
find us.
Don't you have a party?
Dirge and Zai are like buddy at this point.
That's my thing, though. They would have. If he takes it home, if he takes Zai home, we got time to ourselves.
Wink, wink.
What's the general consensus?
Well, even I want to go up to another bar.
Yeah.
All right, we will do one more bar, and then we will call it, and you guys would be running into the time of the ball starting.
Oh well, no. If Arabella's aware of that, then no, she's gonna go home and get ready. She doesn't want her to be disrespectful or late.
True.
Well, I mean, you guys would just be like running against the clock. It is a pretty big city, so it takes you about 30 minutes to go any place.
We're we're nobles. We're fashionably late to anything anyways.
Yeah.
No,
all right.
I don't want to be disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful. Fashionably late is a thing.
We still need to get her a gift.
Go buy her like a clock or something. I don't know, man.
Steal a bottle of wine from the bar.
Yeah, like steal a bottle of wine, and Zai may or may not drink half of it on the way to the party.
I mean, you can do the mafia. You just offer to kill somebody.
Actually, we'll do this. I will let you guys roll a gather information check, and everybody can pose one question they'd ask about Lady Nakart.
What is the check? What is that check?
Or, I'm sorry, investigation check.
Okay.
Everybody can
16.
pose one question.
16.
Okay.
17.
I had 16.
16, 16, 17. Act thou.
I'm about to roll. A minute. You said investigation?
Mm-hmm.
22.
22. All right.
Dang.
Question from Eveline. What would she ask?
About Lady. That's the chick whose party we're going to, right?
Yes. So far, you guys know literally nothing about her. She is very guarded in her public portfolio image.
How old is she?
You rolled a 16.
Yes. Or how old does she appear to be, if nothing else?
How old? Give me one of those questions. Just.
How old is she?
When you ask how old is she, people count back on their fingers. Most trace her age somewhere between 35 and 37.
Okay.
One person counts even as high as 41. What does I ask about her?
Will there be wine at her party?
With a very resounding, yes.
No.
It's like nat 20s on that, and yes, there will be wine.
Cool. That smiles.
What does Arabella ask about her?
Is she party?
What god does she serve?
Ooh.
Making me pull out the sheet. Shame. I actually have it written down. It's on character sheet.
You should be prepared for all of this.
I know, right? Well, I am. I just have to read it. Family and religion. When Arabella asked that, Arabella got a 17.
Mm-hmm.
She is nobody has a clear answer for you. However, there are 4 temples, each one devoted to a different one of the 4 ascended, attached to her estates. Everybody resoundingly knows she worships the 4. No one particularly knows which deity which of the 4 she pays patronage to.
Okay, and which god does Arabella serve? What is that?
Soyesa, the goddess of the flame.
Is she an ascended?
Yeah, she is one of the 4 ascended.
That's what I thought. Okay.
All right, and what does Akthau ask about her?
How does she feel about the different families living in the cities, including the tolls?
That's a good question.
Asking that Akthau knows that the Nakart family, everybody except the Tolls and a few lesser families who live in Somar Villa have pledged a loyalty to the Nakart house. Okay. Back before Manning Tolls' father died and Manning Tolls became Lord of the House, the Nakarts actually split the region of Doredge, which is the southern region of Arder Sarai, in half. And they control half, and the Tolls control the other half, which is the rougher half, the borderlands.
So are they in opposition, or do they don't care about trying to get the other half of land?
There is tension. However, the Nakarts have never been after the Tolls with a sword, is what most people say. If anything, it's just political impoliteness.
Okay.
The region you guys are in, by the way, is called Arothia. Not that it would ever matter or come up much. Just like, you live in the United States and we're in Alabama.
Yeah.
Arder Sarai, Arothia.
We need to build a wall around Alabama.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so with that information you guys just gained, what do you guys want to buy her as a gift?
Wine.
No.
Did you not
Does
hear
she
the
have
answer to
wine?
my question?
Yes, she has wine. I'm going to buy her more wine.
Well, you're not.
I think we should buy her a dagger.
I was thinking a book.
I think the best gift would be one of you guys like marrying somebody from their family.
I was going to say, I think a really, really good gift would be for Arabella to marry one of her sons or something.
Yes, I'm a four. Hey, I can marry her.
She's maybe. I don't know how she feels about that, but all right.
Let's say she's only maybe like 35. How old are her sons?
Or her brothers. But no, I think if she worships, could we not find her a book about the forest?
Let me read this because this is pretty standard knowledge about her. I've read this once before. Well, no, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to post it in the group chat because I've read it before. Anyone watching can see the wiki with the information of the Nakarts, which most people would in this world know that. So
Brandon, did you type that fast?
No, I just copied and pasted that.
Oh, I was about to say, you're amazing.
Yeah, that was I put that on the wiki when people were trying to form their characters and wanted to know about the nobility. I wish I could type that fast. I'd be like the king.
So what do you guys think about buying her a book?
I mean, I feel like buying her a book, you know, given that what kind of book are you wanting to buy her, first of all?
A book of the forest, something to like the forest ended.
Okay, so my thinking there is if she worships the Four Tenets already, and is very devout about it, I'm sure she has a lot of the books that we could possibly buy her already.
So then what? She's rich. She doesn't need jewels or money.
She needs you to marry one of her brothers or something.
Hey, she doesn't have any brothers.
That we know of, or a son or something.
What if we had more time, I'd say a dagger that was commissioned to look like the one that we found in the chase to see if she reacts to it.
Why don't we just gift her the dagger that was in the...
No.
Why not?
We need it later.
For what?
For something. Zai, shut up. Nobody asked you.
All right, fine. Let's go find a blacksmith and mimic the dagger.
We don't have time.
Dagger, because that could be like a sign of like.
No, because if we didn't trust her, we wouldn't give her a weapon. But giving her a weapon says, "Hey, I trust you not to use this to stab me in 20 minutes."
See, I feel like we could actually use the dagger that you guys found, because depending on how her reaction would, to the dagger would be.
No, because once we give it to her, we don't have it anymore. We'd have to steal it back if we ever need it again.
That's fine. Zai's a thief. He can do that.
No.
That's doing a lot.
Zai's drunk as F. No.
So a book?
Why not a bracelet or a ring or a headpiece or something fashionable that we can pick up?
What about?
Roll me
they don't need
intelligence.
All they need is something that'll help grow their political influence, and that would be
I rolled a nat 20, Brandon.
What about that pink satchel that was with the dagger?
No, Brandon.
Wait.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Which would be a what?
My
intelligence is 1.
So 21.
Yeah. What about the satchel, Ben?
Just what about when we give that to her as a gift?
Arabella's gonna be like, no, that's mine. What religions, everybody?
Zai doesn't follow a
I haven't
particular
declared
religion.
one yet.
Okay. Acthal's from Darenthal, right?
I don't think so. Let me check. I think I'm like the opposite.
Yeah. You
Like
said
whoever
Darenthal
came to
because
Darenthal?
yeah, that would be the That would be the strange religion here, yes. Arabella has the thought, it's one of the tenets of her religion to record your travels and adventures.
Give her a journal.
As tales, and that devote followers of the four are always in need of more journals.
Can we find one that's like really pretty and decorative?
If you can convince the group to buy that.
Yes. Erica. Crap. Now I did it. Thanks, Brendan.
Reported.
You did it 3 times today.
I'm gonna tell your GM or DM and get him to ban you from the session.
The Forgotten Song, Brandon. I just found it.
Oh yeah, the Forgotten Song. Yeah.
Arabella's just gonna say, if she worships the forest ended, it is customary to keep a journal to record your travels. These tend to be very important and significant to the holder. I think that would be very significant as a sign of a gesture of camaraderie.
I'm gonna roll a persuasion check and say no. The pink satchel.
Wait, no. Let me roll a persuasion check because I was just about to say that I wanted to do that one.
I generally lean away from persuasion checks working on party members.
Oh yeah. We did talk about that.
Fine.
Freedom of will, that whole thing.
Yeah, freedom of will.
So you guys are at an impasse?
No, as I said,
yes, we're at an impasse.
Why don't we take a group vote?
Okay.
All those in favor of the journals, say aye.
The journal as a gift?
Aye. Yes.
I think one of you guys should marry him. Somebody.
Aaron,
we need to get there and get relations started first. That way we can find out if that's even an option and if they even want peace.
And I think that this journal is
Okay. That'll work.
Dies out voting.
The journal?
Okay. Do you guys go looking for a journal?
Yes, and I want it to be very pretty.
Okay. There are several book vendors in Somar Villa. Do you guys just pick a random one and go check there?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there?
What can we roll to tell if it's like a valuable one?
I was gonna say, is there a journal with like a gold leafy print similar to the daggers?
Yes, you are able to find makes and journals of all different sizes, from simple to elegant. When you walk into the bookstore, though, there are, of course, many books thrown about. The merchant who you talk to takes his time to find one. As he's doing so, there are a few different books he has open on the table in front of him before he finally comes back with journal described, a gold leafy one, or rather one with gold leaf trim on it.
Before he comes back, does Arabella notice anything about the books that are in front of him?
Likewise.
You can roll me a perception check.
No! Does it count if it hit the floor?
I mean, you can re-roll it.
That'll be an 18, Brandon.
Okay.
20. Yeah, at 20.
It seems he is copying something down from history books, perhaps inscribing a new one. And he has many different books open. Everybody got a 21, 18, and what was Evelyn's?
A 20.
20.
Okay. Yeah, you see a various few figures. in one book, it's just portraitures of people smiling, which you would imagine would be redone later as paintings. They're just light charcoal sketches with some type of oil applied to them to preserve them. Otherwise, you don't notice anything else significant.
Okay, so he brings back the journal.
Yes. It is.
Is it beautiful?
It is. It is very nice. As he hands it to you guys, I gotta look up in the player's handbook how much a journal costs.
It's to me. He hands it to me.
Does Arabella have the money to pay for this thing?
Yes.
How much does she have left?
23 gold and some change.
Okay. Let's see. A journal is. A journal is 25 gold.
Oh man, he's gonna look at Zai and say, "Hey."
This particular one is 33 gold.
30.
The book in question. Yes.
Arabella's gonna look at Zai and say, "Pretty please."
Zai's just gonna stand there, not say anything.
Arabella will say, "I bought you wine at the tavern."
Zai Silver does not reply.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes.
Can I pray to my God for guidance?
You can.
Okay. Can I pray to him that whether buying this document would help us, journal would help us in our journey or whatever?
Go ahead and say a prayer. What do you say?
Hey,
Hey,
the Forgotten Song. Well, helping her buy this thing help us in our journey to achieve what we want to achieve. Blase, blase.
Blase.
Voice.
Religion or something?
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll a religion check.
All
right. Very distinct voice sounds in Actau's head. It is a very surprised and sudden what? And that's it.
I decide not to help her pay for the journal.
Arabella's gonna turn and look to Eve and say, "Please."
Eve sighs.
By the way,
I better get this.
That actually happens.
What?
Actau hears a voice in his head very distinctly say, "What?"
Hey, Brandon, can I try to talk the guy down?
You can try.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a scary thought.
Eve sighs and says, "Wait, can I answer your question?"
Oh, yes.
Eve sighs and says, "I better get this back on my next when I get paid."
As soon as I will personally pay you back as soon as I have the gold.
Then I will supply you what you are short.
As soon as I hump this rich lady and get her richness, you gonna be rich.
Okay.
This is like the perfect Amway hooker scam.
Or if you don't, or if you cannot pay me back, you can owe me a favor if you would rather do that.
How much was the book, Brandon?
33 gold.
So I need 9 gold.
So at this point, Zai is gonna pull out 33 gold, slam it down on the counter, and walk out of the store.
Arabella's going to smile really big and grab the journal and say, "Thank you," as Sai walks
Eve
out.
is gonna snap. Eva's gonna snap her fingers and swear like low under her breath. So close.
Act out feels no emotion.
Acthal is literally my favorite character ever.
Right.
So as they're
I
walking
wanted that favor.
as they're walking out of the store, Arabella's gonna look at Acta and say, "So, tell me about yourself."
What would you like to know, madame?
Everything. Tell me everything.
Well, there's
we're
not
gonna
much I
end
can
there.
tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
Can this take place on the carriage ride home?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was hoping for.
We're gonna end there, and then we'll pick up on your guys' way back home and then to the ball for session 1.
Monday.
Yep, this coming Monday. Look forward to it.
We got a lot of work in for session 1.
Somebody's
6:30?
Yes, 6:30 roll call, 7:30 7 o'clock playtime. If everybody shows up early and we're ready to go, we will start early.
I might be there at 7 o'clock
Okay.
and not at 6:30.
Okay. Oh yeah, and Hannah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you heard from
Hannah? To meet Hannah. Yes, we rolled up her character. She said she'd be playing.
Okay. I gave her a sheet, like a hard copy, last time I worked.
Yeah, very, very interesting character. I'm excited for you guys to meet her. Yeah, so I'm going to stop the broadcast. Good session, everybody.